All right, guys, it's time to check out the Direnzo DRZ05. So another beautiful watch design from Sergio. You're seeing some design cues that are across the lineup for sure. So that is nice to have that where they all kind of, as soon as you see one, you're going to know that's a Direnzo sort of thing. I like that in a watch, in a brand for sure, when there's no like crazy difference between the lineups. You have some subtle tie-ins to one another. It's kind of nice. I like it. So right away, let's get into this guy. This is called the Solaris. It is dropping, well, when I release this video, October 30th, that's when the watch is releasing. Perfect. Oddly enough, I'm a little slow to the game here. I'm making this video on the 29th, so this is a fresh video. I don't know if you can smell that freshness. So the watch on this, or the size on this watch, is 39 millimeter. I actually measured just a touch over 39, but it's measured at 39. The lug to lug is 47. The thickness I measure at just over 13, but that's including the sapphire crystal, which is protruding from the case a little bit. On the website, it claims a little bit shorter, but I measure 13.3. This is a prototype too, by the way, guys. There's going to be some subtle changes, and we'll cover those. 20 millimeter lug width bracelet, which is a bezel rice, whatever you want to call it, tapers down slightly to 18 millimeter. You have a fully milled clasp, 6 micro adjust, which is very nice. On top of that, you have the shorter links on the bracelet, so you're going to be able to get a perfect fit. So simple fold over, double pusher, and a keeper as well. And it is also signed. So good classic design there. No sense fixing that. Don't need to reinvent the wheel. That just works. 7 millimeter crowns. This is a 2-crown or dual crown diver, which I think is a better way to explain these cases when you see watches of this nature, because a lot of us, including myself, will call them compressor or super compressor style watches. And yeah, they kind of look like that, but they are not compressor cases. They're just dual crown dive watches. That's a better description, and that is how Direnzo describes it in their website. So I took that from them. I'm going to use that in the future. Thank you very much for that. So those are both 7 mil, and they're both screw down. The watch with the bracelet weighs in at 168 gram unsized, full length. I did not size it for my wrist. You do have screw links here. I think a 1.2 millimeter screwdriver works the best for sizing this. I think that'll be the best screwdriver to use. So let's take a closer look. Before we do that, the movement is a Sellita SW200 Elaborate grade. So it's their top grade SW200, which will have the ankle block shock resistant system in it as well. So that'll help with its ruggedness for sure. And they're just a better movement all around. They have a little bit of, probably a little bit of dress up work to the movement. I'm not going to pop the case back up to look at it, but they should, when you buy a higher grade Swiss movement, they're going to be just a little more refined and probably a little tighter accuracy specifications with it as well. So this is obviously a no date. You're going to be able to get it in a date option as well. If we zoom in here, the date, if you were to opt for that model, the date would be at the 6 o'clock, and it'll be a nice little circle. That is kind of like the Direnzo thing. This one does have, I mentioned it and I corrected myself, but again, this is a prototype, so this one does have the ghost date position. The production model will not. If you order a no date, it will be a no date operation of the crown. If you order a date, it'll have the 2 positions. So you can hack the movement, adjust the time on this thing, and the crown is nice and solid. Be able to push that in, get the second hand running again, and go ahead and screw it down. Now for the second position crown, which is also marked with a red dot versus signed with the Direnzo logo, you can unscrew this, and as soon as it becomes fully unscrewed, it engages the rotating bezel, the inner rotating bezel, which is bi-direction, and there are little notches. You can feel it. There's a little tactile feel in the bezel, or in the crown action, excuse me, and you can feel that. So it's a nice little feature that some watches just don't have that. And then you can go and line that up, push that in, screw it down, and it doesn't move. So that works. Now it's locked into position for timing things. It's a perfect option. There are going to be a few different colorways. There's a red, of course, there's the beautiful red. This one is kind of like a charcoal with a little hint of brown. You can see the dials in two sections. You have the lower matte section, and then the outer part here, the ring that where the indices are, is like a fume brownish grayish color. And then of course, then you have the bowl shaped inner rotating bezel. There is another limited edition one, which I'm very interested in, that is a meteorite dial and has a red date wheel, which is down at the 6. Those are going to be a little bit more money, and they're only making 60 of them. So that's partly why I'm interested in that one. That one's awesome. But you can see a beautiful dial, of course, on this below that sapphire crystal with AR coating. Super legible handset, and you can see that 12 o'clock indice just protrudes out. I think it even kind of diving boards out over the center sector dial almost. So nice oversized, and it just kind of protrudes down in there. So that's going to be a nice way to differentiate where you are at on the time for this watch. The price on this, I converted it, again, exchange rate, snapshot in time. I converted it to US dollars. So the launch price should be $709.84, and then the retail price is actually $786. So be ready to jump on this and save yourself some money if this is a watch that interests you. You can see beautiful finishing on this as well, the brushed and the polished and all that good sort of thing. Nice bracelet, just an all-around good-looking watch. Here's a look at the case back. I didn't ask him what that is. I don't know if that's like fencing or I don't know what is going on there. I'm looking at it now and I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know what's going on there. So, but there is some information on the back. These are Swiss made. You can see it's marked XX of XX because they, I think, are numbered too. So they all should have BGW9 lume as well, I believe. Let's pop this on my wrist, on my 7 1/4 inch wrist, so you guys can see what it looks like. Wears, looks, feels great on wrist. With those offset crowns, you don't get any center 3 o'clock digging on your wrist too. I'm a fan of that. Just a great looking watch. A little over the $500 comfort range that I like, but guys, it has an elaborate grade SW200 in it, and it's a unique design. And the dial and the quality control on these are just top notch. So yeah, there's a little bit of a premium, you know, when you are looking at the premium watches above that, you know, affordable range. This is like the premium affordable, I think, is what we're going to call it. There's a look at the lume. You can see it's just a beautiful, cool blue. That's the nice application of BGW9. And hopefully I will have another one later on because, like I said, this is a prototype. This one will be going to another reviewer or back to the brand owner. And then at some point, he will send me a production model for making this video, which is why at the beginning of the video, you'll notice a pop-up window that says this paid advertisement. And that is because the agreement I have with Direnzo is he gives me a production model at the end. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next vid.